Good afternoon, Jan.
Good morning, Michael.
Man, it
Welcome back.
is. Yeah, thank you. It's already been quite a busy week. So yeah,
Mhm,
um, on Sunday and Monday, I participated in the Code Launch Professional Coders League, the
mhm.
PCL, and so yeah, we coded for one of the startups that were then showcased last night um, at our studio recording
Okay.
of Code Launch.
Mhm.
But no information about that is going to come out until August. So
Okay. But I'm sure everything went well.
yeah, it was. There was a tense moment when the QR code for Launch Kings didn't work, but I had just added a feature to Launch Kings that allowed you to share your QR code with your neighbor. So if you get logged in and you're on the event, then you
Mhm,
can hit a button and a QR code will open, and you can share with your neighbor.
mhm,
Because I had experienced the last one. People were showing up late, and then I
mhm,
had people texting me and say, "Hey, can you shoot me that QR code so I can let this person in?" I was like, "Well, let's just
mhm.
make it part of the app." But yeah, as it happens, there was something wrong with how they encoded the QR code that they put on the screen. So everybody had the wrong QR code. Still haven't gotten to the bottom of how that
Mhm.
happened, um, but yeah. So I quickly logged into the back end, grabbed the appropriate URL, and then logged in myself. And then I used that button, shared with my neighbors, pass it down, and so we had this bubble of people giving thumbs up that
Mhm.
spread through the audience.
Mhm.
Fortunately, it was just a studio audience of like 75 people,
Mhm.
so it didn't take long to propagate. But that was that was pretty tense.
Well, if everybody takes care of two other people,
Yeah,
then it goes very fast.
yeah, yeah. It should take just over 5 generations if everyone's taking care of
Mhm,
two people, but maybe off by one. But yeah, unfortunately, people are you know, there's proximity involved, and they're all sitting in their chairs,
mhm.
so. Um, so yeah, you can't reach the people on the opposite end
Yeah.
of the room without going through everybody in between.
You must walk
But
around with your phone. You as the first one. Every corner of the audience, you give one code
yeah,
also.
actually, you know what? Dave O'Hara was on the opposite end. I could have
Mhm,
texted him. He was actually one of the people in there last time that texted me and asked for the QR code. So so yeah, I could have texted him and say, yeah, share this, use this link. It wouldn't have been the QR code in that case. It would have been the link so you could just tap on it, be in there, and then you could share. But yeah, I could have had it propagating from both ends.
mhm. Anyway, problem solved.
Yep. Yep.
That's the most important.
Yes, indeed.
So now you're waiting for the final voting in August, the public voting.
Right, right. And I've got a lot of work to do before then. So,
Yeah, so it's
um,
not really waiting, it's preparing
yeah,
for.
yeah, yeah. So, first of all, I need to add some user experience around validating the QR code. So, this is a problem that we should have caught early on. Generate the
Mhm,
QR code, test it, and then um, rather than just coming up with Launch Kings, it should have said, wait a minute, I don't know about this event. Um, and in fact, it should be that when you scan the QR code, it shows you the name of the event and maybe even the date. So
mhm.
you're absolutely sure. Yes, this is the right one.
Okay.
So I'll get that UX in place so that we
Mhm.
can close the loop early, test everything.
Yeah, because it was perhaps a QR code from a previous event that you got first.
Yeah, that could have happened. Although I tested that theory. Uh, Basically, if that were the case, then people would have gotten into a completed event. And so yeah, well, all of the events that are still on that front page are are events from the past that that should have a champion already. So
Until you found out, let's assume that it was the same event, but in a parallel universe for the moment.
Okay, there we go. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. Okay, this was the same event, but in August when it's live streamed. Yeah, so it's the event from the future. That's what it was.
That might. Okay. Good.
We'll go with that.
Let's get back to skills.
Skills. What you been doing with skills?
Skills. I saw that you had been doing something.
Mm-hmm.
You added the copy mode instead of the, what was it before?
Oh, yes. Yeah, symlinks.
Yeah, the symlinks.
Yeah.
So what I did, because there was almost nothing, so I erased, took the earlier commit, tried it. Wait, how can we share? Oh, wait, what am I gonna share first? Because I took some pictures of it. Where is that directory? Because I got into some trouble with that. Yeah, open cursor here. Cursor directory. That's. I think let's share that first one. Share the screen. This one. Do you see that, or is
I
it
do.
too big?
Yes, I see it.
Okay. So I reinstalled the factory engineering, the skill optimizer. And then I said, okay, that's something I don't really understand why the first time you have to type sync ID detect, and afterwards you can just ask the agent to do that. Or did I understand, or is it not?
Yeah,
So when I said detect,
sometimes the agent gives you the instructions that were intended for it. So, so this could just be an optimization problem. I need to make sure that the agent knows it's supposed to run that.
No, I was just following the instructions in the README on the factory engineering repo.
Okay, maybe. Yeah. So, so maybe some agent instructions ended up in the README. Yeah. The intent is that the agent is supposed to use those skills or those scripts.
Okay, so you don't have to do this detect, because detect was, of course, cursor that went right. Then after that, I don't know. So if I do it, because in the instructions, what was written? Where is that? Where did I read that? So either you had to do this detect first, and then you could just run it again, or you could run it again with -IDE and then cursor.
Yeah, again, that's also something that the agent is instructed to do. So
Okay.
yeah, I think those just incorrectly ended up in the README.
Okay, so in that case, what is the So in the instructions after that, ask your agent to sync command folders or Copilot prompts as needed.
Yeah, and that's the only thing that you should do. Yeah.
Yeah, because on cursor, actually, we don't need the sync for the skills, because the skills are found in Claude skills by cursor. We only need to sync for the comment for the comments.
Right. And yeah, the agent should know that. So when you ask it to to sync the skills, it's first of all going to run detect and say, oh, you're in cursor, and then it'll say, well, I know for cursor, the canonical location is .claude/skills, and for skills, and .cursor slash commands for commands. Although that seems to have changed too. So I'm trying to keep up with the IDEs.
Okay. Wait. So if let's see here, cursor. Where is it? That one. Where is it on my screen? Oh. Completely on the bottom here. So here, let me open a terminal. Oh no, I don't need a terminal. Oh wait, I will share that first. That's this one then. Yeah.
There we go.
So that should be visible. So if I just take a new agent here, and then what was it?
Yeah, and you don't have to use the exact words. You just kind of say, I want to sync the skills and commands.
Yeah. Sync skills and commands. Now there are no commands for the moment here. There are only a few skills. Oh, that's interesting. So I just made a skill. Yeah, of course that's directly in the Claude directory. So okay, that's not gonna sync because it doesn't sync skills is not necessary in my case. So I leave it on agent auto. Yeah. Let's see what it does.
Yep. So it uses factory engineering.
Yeah.
And so yeah, it's running detect IDE.
PowerShell. What is this one doing? The sync. Yeah. Detect run.
It's only cursor in this repo. Yep.
That's okay. Run.
So skills already live in .clod/skills for cursor. So only doing commands.
And there are no commands for the moment, so planning to do nothing.
Yep. So first of all, this is the dry run, and the dry run reports what it would do. Oh, interesting. Sync rip is currently failing due to PowerShell argument passing edge case. Interesting. Okay.
Yeah. So that's the one I had.
Mm-hmm.
I had doing it manually.
Yeah. So yeah, it was able to fix the PowerShell script, and now it's going to try to run it again.
So let's see. Not yet.
Yeah.
I run. So what did you do now? We just changed that one. Can that be?
Yeah. It can be, but when it's asking you for permission, it grays everything else out. So yeah, you don't have the opportunity to take a look at it before it actually runs it, which I think is a UX flaw. But that's just in that window. Yeah, you can open it there.
Yeah.
And so that's the sum total of what it did.
Mm-hmm. Can that?
Yeah, so it's doing a comma separated list of IDEs.
Oh, sorry. Like this.
Yeah, and
Let it give full screen here and full screen there. Oh, I'm still. Oh.
Yeah, I think we might need to scroll in that view. So yeah, you can. You should be able to do a horizontal scroll. I don't see a scroll bar, but Oh, okay, yeah, wait, no, that's selection. Um,
Right.
yeah, I usually use a trackpad, so it's just whoop.
Well, sometimes there is at the bottom here a scroll bar.
Yeah,
But,
I'm not sure why
because
it's not showing up. But, yeah, it's looking like, yeah, before it was trying to append each path to an array or a string, something like that, and now it's it looks like it's doing that's still skills targets plus equal. Okay, it just had to insert that line above it. Okay, it looks like that line above it is intended to work with arrays. It's only picking the first element out of the array. So if it's an array, then pick the first element and then add it to the skills targets. That's odd. I would expect that it would want to flatten the array. If it's an array, let's take each of them. So yeah, maybe we can ask it to explain the change that it just made in the script. Yeah, so normalize from an array into
it says you
single string
interrupted.
list.
Oh yeah, okay.
Yeah. It's not actually getting grumpy that you interrupted it. it's trying to be factual. Yeah. Yeah, so the thing that I'm concerned about is that while doing so, it only takes the first element of the array. What happens if there are more elements in the array? So we can ask that question, and that'll put it on the path of finding finding a more rigorous solution.
Because in your case, you probably had a lot of environments which so you had more elements.
Yeah.
Okay.
So it's got two interpretations of that. One is that it's going to do the split on the comma, but then the other one, if you mean that the mapping value becomes an array unexpected, yeah, so only the first is used and the rest are ignored. That is the one that I'm talking about. Why that's safe but not ideal. It avoids crashing, but if the array legitimately contained other targets, it silently drops them.
Which is not correct.
Yeah, but I think this is the real answer here. If the script, will it ever legitimately be an array? It should not be an array in normal operation. But if you want, I can point out the most likely sources of T turning into an array in PowerShell and how to instrument the script. I think I would like it to completely explore that. Because,
okay.
Yeah, it felt the need to check to see if T is an array and then do something. So clearly there's a path.
Yeah.
Okay. So apparently it's got to think about this one a little bit.
not a single string. Yes, it was.
Yeah. So maybe I would ask it, go back, investigate the command that you just used, and tell me why you got to this place where you're checking for an array.
Like this?
Yep. Yep. Sometimes you gotta force it into a little bit of introspection. If you want, tell me how you launched the script. You launched the script.
Oh, what can we do here? That it.
Mm-hmm.
Good while building.
At the time, IDE was not a single string.
Why is not a scanner?
Mm-hmm.
I think it's what we can do is just try it again just on the terminal. Then we get the same error, and then point it to the terminal.
I like that idea.
Yeah.
Yeah, good idea.
Yeah. So that was npx open skills.
Oh, okay. I see what you're trying to do. You're trying to get back to the version before it made these changes.
Yes, it will go back to the original version then. Huh?
Yeah, you can just hit undo on those changes, or undo all, and that'll revert everything.
Ah.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, and now we can just try to execute the script, and so in fact you can scroll up to the last time that it tried.
Wait, where was that script? Wait.
Or you can scroll up in the chat to the last time that it tried running the script, and copy the command line parameters.
I need the questions anyway, so I need to open that web page. Oh, it was open here, so and then I can use. No, on which page was that? I want to use. No. It's open on my other monitor. Okay.
Yeah. So I suspect where I would ultimately like this to go is creating some
like this.
unit tests.
IDE cursor. I can leave it like that. I can put it in quotes.
I'm curious what it did. So can you scroll up in the chat window and let's see when's the last time that it executed.
When we interrupted it. It was.
Yeah, so it did the detect IDEs. So that was just the detect, and here's the dry run. Yeah, so it did cursor and quotes.
Yeah, cursor here
Yeah.
in quotes. Okay.
Yep, perfect.
So let's run that.
Okay. Yeah,
Okay.
and now you can just hit Control L.
Control.
Well, you clicked.
Yeah.
So you can see where it says
Oh.
PowerShell. Yeah. Now hit Control L.
Right.
Yeah.
So I have to.
So, no. Yeah. Hold on. You're right there. So stop right there. You see where it says Add to Chat. Control L, and now it disappeared. So it needs to be in the state where it says Add to Chat. Control L, and now you hit Control L. Yeah.
Now I have it with
yeah.
the correct
and so now
lines.
You can see it's got the line numbers. Yeah. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Why is it script generating this error?
Yeah. So now it's got exactly the evidence.
Oh, it has to think a long time.
Yeah. Yeah, investigating lost changes. Well, we didn't like those changes. Let's start over. In fact, there might be context pollution. If it doesn't get on the right track, then we might start a new session.
Single string.
PowerShell hash table indexing with an array key returns an array of values. That does make... That might be true, but I don't know how that applies. Yeah, this might be a good use of the think scientifically type of prompt. For this one, we'll want to switch to agent mode. But the idea here is that we tell it to think like a scientist. This is kind of a long prompt, so I'll just kind of talk through it. Think like a scientist. Create several hypotheses that describe the behavior you're seeing, and then design tests, in this case in the form of unit tests. Then execute those experiments, and then evaluate the results. So you're basically telling it the scientific method.
Will we start the new agent?
Probably a good idea. Let's go ahead and do that. So yeah, we'll have to get back to where we can Control L to give it the data. Yeah. Yep. And then go through that litany.
Analyze like a scientist why we encounter this error. Build some tests.
Yeah, I first usually ask it to create some hypotheses.
How do you spell that in English? No.
Yeah, there's an H after the T, but otherwise it's correct. Yeah. And then rank them from most likely to least likely.
Start random. Most likely.
And then and then design experiments for those hypotheses in the form of PowerShell unit tests.
And run them.
Yep, and then run the experiments. Yep.
Let's see. Hop.
Yep. Yeah, this technique is so useful to me that I've turned this into a command.
Okay.
So I can just say /do science, and then it does these things.
And you use Otto for this, or you use one of the best models?
I find that when you force it to break the problem down, Auto is perfectly fine. It's really only if you are asking it to come up with the best solution, to infer the process, or to reason through multiple steps, that it takes a more powerful model. Okay, so it came up with a new hypothesis, PowerShell 7. We're in PowerShell 5.1. Okay, so that might explain why I didn't run into this one. So yeah, we definitely want it to work on the version of PowerShell that's installed with Windows.
Because this is a Windows 10 machine.
Yeah.
But that might explain it.
Yeah. Yeah, and not only am I on Windows 11, I also am in the habit of installing PowerShell.
PowerShell doesn't update automatically with Windows?
No, apparently it does not.
Okay.
That might be for the same reason that Python doesn't update for the Mac. Yeah, so much of the operating system depends upon that version of Python or that version of PowerShell that they're like, no, we're going to keep it stable. Yeah, previous reruns failed for a subtle reason. We're invoking PowerShell command from another PowerShell session. Okay, yeah, I feel like we're finally getting somewhere with this one instead of just going around in the please fix circle. Yeah. Yeah, this is, a lot of, you remember when Ralph Wiggum was, it was all the hotness? So there's there was a hook that was created for Claude Code called the Ralph Wiggum hook, and basically what it would do is take a goal, and then it would run through an iteration using Claude Code, and then at the end it was instructed to evaluate whether the solution met the goal. And if not, it would just kick off a new one. So brand new context, same goal, but now the code is in this state, and try again. So they called that the Ralph loop. And it's just kept on iterating and iterating with a limited number of retries until it achieved the goal.
Okay.
Yeah, it's the most inelegant solution. But
and because of the random factor, it finally got to the goal.
And the fact that it was keeping its previous attempts. So so the theory being it makes some progress, but then gives up, and then the Ralph loop kicks in, and it makes more progress. I prefer this solution. Not only is it a bit more elegant, but it also forces it to break the problem down into reasonable chunks instead of just trying stuff.
Mm-hmm. So it comes with some possible solutions.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Oh, and I see that it's installed Pester, or maybe Pester was already available. But yeah, that's a PowerShell test framework.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, confirm 2 key facts experimentally. Excellent. The observed exception is exactly what happens when join path receives an object array. So I'll add one more scientist-grade experiment to set a temporary breakpoint. Oh, I can do that? That's cool. I thought it would have to do logs. This would be interesting to see if it actually is able to hit the breakpoint. Yeah. Okay, so it looks like it's trying to get the breakpoint to work.
That might something that only works in Windows 11.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, well, we don't want it to only work in Windows 11.
Breakpoint once. Comes longer and longer.
Yeah. Yeah, so it's doing safe quoting. So it's quoting a PowerShell command inside of another PowerShell command to say run this test. Okay, it's thrown by a join path because child path parameter is receiving a system object array. So why is it an array? Good, getting to the right question. Using runtime breakpoints, we captured this is an array even though it prints as cursor. That explains the failure chain. Okay. So ID is accidentally a string array, not a string. So the hypothesis, all right, good. So the array stickiness through for each object pipeline creates a nested array. Yeah, I don't know enough about PowerShell to know if that's true.
We can just ask it to try out the tree.
Well, I think it did. So it's going through the hypotheses that it did, and then just below that it shows you the experiments.
Okay. With the results, I ran results 6 pass.
Yeah. Okay, so I think we do need to ask it to explain the step in between. So, yeah, is it that you fixed the issue? Have you confirmed one of the hypotheses? Yeah, hypothesis 1 is confirmed.
Okay, and 2 is also confirmed here.
Okay.
Okay, do you have a fix?
Yeah, and I think it already did, and it'll probably tell us that. No, it did not. Okay. Oh, okay. It might have done something that I do have to be very explicit, and actually this is in my do science command. Sometimes when it writes an experiment as a unit test, um, the assertion is the assertion of the hypothesis. So this is failing because PowerShell 5 interprets this as an array of strings. And so therefore the assertion will be type of this is array of strings. And so in that command I explicitly tell it to write the assertions from the perspective of the expected behavior, and therefore a failing test is confirmation of a hypothesis. So I have to spell that out. So yeah, I think it wrote these tests in such a way that they pass if it knows what the cause is. So what we just saw it do is fix the code and then change the tests. So yeah, so it looks like it's just about to run the tests again.
We had to run the tests again.
Yeah, let's go ahead and let it run the tests again, and then we can ask just to make sure, whether these tests assert expected behavior. Okay, interesting. So it didn't make any changes, but it's doing another command. Okay, yeah, I think it's running the script and then evaluating the output. Oh no, it's okay. Yeah, it was trying to pass the parameters in a different way. Okay, and so yeah, the exception is moved. So make the fix further down. And yeah, now try to run the tests again.
It's a difficult error, apparently.
Yeah. Yeah, it does seem to be a surprising... yes, fixed.
So manual run. We can just try it again here in the terminal. Oh, my terminal.
Yeah, hit that again.
Oh yeah, here.
Yeah.
Okay. So in this way, forward synced. Yeah.
Excellent.
But I don't have any comments, so I cannot see whether it worked.
Yeah, switch to the Git tab. So that's the third button across the top. Right now it's the files. Yeah. And now you can see these are the changes that were persisted. So yeah, we switched from a for each to a split.
And here is another one.
Okay. Yeah, and now that's using the split version of the variable instead of resplitting it. Okay, that's a much better fix than what it was trying to do before, where it's just kind of, oh, there's an error, let me get rid of the error. It's like, no, you really think through it.
So what was that comment that we used for it, or that the one that you put into a comment. Let me copy that. That might be useful.
Yeah. Yeah, and the way that I got the command is I started a new session and said, create a command called do science that, and then all those things. So yeah, the user will give you an observation, usually an error. And then you have to explain the observation using this process. Yeah, in fact, I just built a set of agents around that do science command for my team at my client. So so now they've got a workflow. They can do /fix fix defect and then paste in a defect number. And so that workflow launches an agent that just goes out to Azure DevOps and pulls in the details about the defect. And then it starts another agent that does science. Wait, no, before it does that, it launches another agent that gathers evidence to confirm the defect. So if the defect says something's wrong in the database or something's wrong, there's an error that's logged in Datadog is what we use, then there's another one that, okay, pull the Datadog logs, pull the data from the database. And then now it's got that information in place, and it understands the observation. Then it invokes an agent that does science. And so this whole workflow takes about half an hour to run to completion. But by the time it's done, it has checked its hypotheses, run its experiments, implemented the most likely fix, verified that worked, and created a separate branch with the name of the defect. So even got that part in there, and then gathered the evidence that it was fixed and put that into a file. And now the developer can review the changes, look through the evidence, look through the explanation, and then if they agree, they can create a PR and copy that evidence in. And now we can all see, here's the evidence, here's the change. Do we all approve?
So it becomes a real factory.
Yeah. Yeah, that's the factory. Mm-hmm.
So after that, what did I have? Do we have to run them that we answered? Do we ever need to use the npx open skills read comment? Because I would think that this is handled automatically by Cursor.
I've not tried the OpenSkills read command. I've only done OpenSkills install.
Yeah, because if I understand well, that's a way that an agent can use the skills in an environment that doesn't know agents. But Cursor knows about agents. So,
okay, yeah, I'll have to check that out. How do you? Oh. Yeah, I'm not familiar with that.
I thought I asked Michael, but I didn't look further. But okay, then and the same thing. Do we ever need the npx open skills sync command in Cursor?
I haven't tried that one either, but I think what that will do is get new changes. So I have done.
Skills. Yeah.
I have done the install and then give it the full name of the repository and select, and it says, I want to overwrite. But I imagine that without having looked at what sync actually does, I imagine that it says, okay, these are the skills that you have, and there's a manifest that it puts into each one of the skill folders, so it knows where it came from. So
Mm.
it probably just, with just that command, goes out to the different sources and sees, are there any changes, and then brings them in. So, so yeah, that does sound like a useful one. But since you have some local changes to this skill, you wouldn't want to sync them. There's probably something built into it that says, you've got your local changes, are you sure? Um,
Mm.
yeah, I don't know if it would do that or if it would just overwrite them or ask you if you want to overwrite them. But yeah, what I would appreciate is if you could, yeah, ideally, I would want a pull request to the factory skills repository
Mm.
with these changes.
I will make that.
Okay.
What else did I have here? Yeah. So there are fast and slow models. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
They differ in price,
Yeah.
but apart from the speed, do they have other differences, or is it exactly the same?
I think that they are exactly the same, and it's the the deployment and the prioritization, because
Mm-hmm.
you're time sharing. So I think fast means we're going to put you on a different pool of servers, um,
Mm-hmm.
and now you're only competing for time with other people who are paying for fast. Um, I think that's the way that works. If it truly is a different model, then I would expect that fast would give you poorer results, but that doesn't seem to be in line with what you want to accomplish.
Yes, where was it? No, it's not that one. This one, yeah. I asked because we were discussing last time um, about the standards
Mm-hmm.
that I want to resume in a skill. And so I found one of these standards in the English version, 144 pages.
Mm-hmm.
And so I told ChatGPT this one. So I want to develop software to inspect non-automatic weighing instruments according to the test described in Appendix A from A44 to A410. Of course, these tests need to comply with the information in the complete document. So create a skill based on the whole document in such a way that an AI agent can use the skill to deeply understand how to perform these tests, and the agent can make sure that the software complies with the content of the complete document. And then, and I'm wondering whether this one influences the choice of the agent for the skill generation. I want to obtain the best possible results, but I'm not in a hurry. So if a slow model is cheaper, then use it.
Hmm.
So can this influence the auto mode?
Not right there where you're using it. However, what that might influence is the skill that it outputs. So skills have front matter that they tell it the name and the description, but they can also say what model should be used when applying this skill. And I don't know which IDEs support that, but that might indicate to it that when it writes out the skill, it'll actually select which model, and it will it'll.
But then it will influence the model, the speed of the skill itself.
Yes.
Well, I'm talking here about the generation of the skill.
Yeah, it
Because
might
here
not. Yeah, it might not
it's a
detect that
large
difference.
document. It's a large document, so that might use a lot of context, a lot of tokens.
Mm-hmm.
So here it might make a difference using a slow model.
Yeah, the model you choose in that drop down. Okay, because you've selected auto, maybe so. So auto first send your prompt through a very light model that's really just trained to select something downstream. It says, is this an easy problem, a hard problem? And is it well suited for this model or that model? So maybe that would affect the selection downstream. I would expect that it would. Yeah, it usually doesn't tell you which model it ultimately went with. You just kind of see that, it's taking a little bit longer, so it went with a more rigorous model.
Can we not just ask it?
Yeah.
Difficult question.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, Codex 5.3. There's no mention of. I don't know whether Codex has slow versions or not. Okay,
Yeah, that would be one of the GPTs. So GPT 5.3 Codex is the full name of it.
Why doesn't it refuse to go to add model?
Huh. Okay, yeah, there was Codex 5.3 Medium in the list.
Right, we can go here to the models.
Yeah.
So we have, so Codex you have, for example, the low and the low fast.
Mm-hmm.
Or the medium fast.
Yeah.
And so it's that difference between high and high fast.
Yeah, let's switch back to auto. And ask it to be that, to be specific.
Was that if the details model fast, slow, medium, high. No, which one you used?
Yeah, I can see how it interpreted your question.
Yeah.
So give me details about Codex 5.3.
Model you used. That'd be good.
Yeah, let's give that a try. Okay, I might not see that.
You can map the word. Fast, slow, again.
Yeah, well, I think we need to draw this to a close.
There we are already.
There we go. Yeah, so maybe that did influence that decision.
Yeah. I will test it out.
Yeah.
I will test it out. Good.
Yeah.
We didn't see the result yet of the the skill that it made. I'm not sure when I saw the reviewed the skill. I'm not sure whether we should use it as a skill or that it use it as a document. But next time I will show you the content of that standard, and it contains so many details that it becomes very hard to summarize.
Okay. Interesting. Okay. So. Yeah, we'll see if we can walk through that and make something that's going to be more useful.
Okay. Okay, Michael, thank you very much.
Yeah, thanks, Jan.
Have a nice day. See you next time.
And indeed. See
Okay.
you then.
Bye-bye.
Bye.